All right, what we're going to talk about now is the bottom leg cradles. Different ways of getting into it. Let's take it from the single leg to start with. Shot in, posting up, we're going to turn to a bottom leg cradles. Okay, wrestle the guy, take your shot in, boom, he sprawls. Whether it's a single leg, double leg, you get into this position where you're sprawled out and you post up. The concept of posting up is you get to bring your knees in underneath you. As you do that, you put one hand down. You can't keep both hands locked on your opponent's leg and come in underneath you. From the single position here, you put one hand down between his legs, bring both your knees in underneath you, and you use that one hand to do a one-arm push-up. Okay. So we get one-arm push-up, we get the opposition here. As I'm coming up, I'm going to post his leg off. Keep a hold of the single that I have here. I come under, fork my fingers, take the leg to the outside. Okay, once I take the leg to the outside, I still control the single leg that I had. I change hands now, back of the knee. Right hand goes out, left hand comes in. I go elbow deep, knee joint deep. This is the key on your bottom leg cradles. Key to bottom leg cradles. Coaches, spend the time with the kids. Elbow joint, knee joint. You cannot put your hand on that leg and expect to hang on to it. Leg's too much bigger than your arm is. Elbow deep. From here, he goes OS. He starts turning away. From there, all I'm trying to do now is get a hold of him. I can reach up and get a hold of his lat or his neck. I'm trying to keep him from crawling forward that direction. And I do that elbow deep, over top. Wham, get a hold of something. As I start driving that way, I can buckle him up into a bottom leg cradle, take him on over, stay at a right angle, weight off your knees, spread your legs, put limbs on his tree. Okay, he's going to do it to me now. Same idea. Shot here, he's just in, boom, and sprawl. He puts one hand down, slides in underneath, post up. Now, my concept is trying to pinch his leg, his head here, hang on as best I can. What he's going to do is he's going to post me off. As he posts me off, here, we change his hands, elbow deep. I go, uh-oh. I start turning down to the base. He comes up, catches my head, into a bottom leg cradle, right angle, spread his legs, off his knees here. Okay, good. So we're going to post up from there. Remember on your post up, stay there, single leg, hands down, hang on to the single, pull your knees under. As you're posting up, you're coming up. One of the keys for me, you'll have a lot of athletes who have problems when they post up. A guy either figure four in the head, or what's not big enough, or pinching it off and trying to clear the head. As you come up, you've been taught in single or stand-ups, as you're coming up in stand-up, bring your head up and you come up. You look down, you go down. The idea on this is when you post up, if you don't want to get your head caught, when you come up, you keep your chin to your chest. Now this is a little bit, it's difficult to do, because when you're posted up, you want to look up to come up. But the more you lift your chin up, the easier it is for him to get to load your jawline here with his knees. And when he pinches you off here, it's really hard to push the leg up over the head. And that's when you get caught here, and eventually the referee goes into a stalemate position. Or calls a stalemate, you go back up to neutral. But you've already beaten him. You can't afford to let him out of that. You're going to win that position. So how do you do that? You forward as you're coming up. You come up, but you don't bring your head up. You come up this way. And keep your chin tucked to your chest on that. As long as your chin is down here versus here, he can't get underneath your chin, your jawline with his knees where your head gets caught. Okay, so sit over here, Jacob, and over at the camera. Okay, from here, as I'm coming up, post in, and come up. When you're down here, it's easier to clear the leg off. If you come up with your head up, you get your lower jawline. Good luck getting your head out of that one. But anyhow, so we post him off. Now, when he posts me off and he gets me down, so we go into that bottom leg cradle, what happens if I roll the other way? Then he goes into a Navy ride and a bottom leg far cradle. Bottom leg near cradle, bottom leg far cradle. They're still all in the cradle family, does the same thing, puts the shoulders down. Good idea. Okay, so he's on a single here. He posts up. He brings his chin down so I can't get over his jawline. Okay, he posts me off. Boom, here. I go, uh-oh. I don't want to turn this way because I think I'm turning into a near cradle. So I turn the other way. And I turn the other way. He's changing his hand here from at the knee over to a Navy line. So I can't get back to a Navy position. From here, he controls my hand here. He's pushing my arm down and he steps up. He's not allowing me to roll through. Okay? Until he gets up here, then he drops down and goes far leg cradle. Okay? You're landing soon in your butt. All right, again, a Navy ride, here he turns away. On your navies, whether you're turning into a bottom leg far cradle or not, the way I like to do it, to pick him up, is a lot of times what's going to happen is he's going to spin through. My job is to catch him from spinning through. If we're running a 5-yard dash, 10-yard dash, 100-yard dash, whatever, and we're standing on a line, okay, if I had the gun, if I already get started, and he and I were racing, if I had a chance to shoot that gun to say go on the race, I'm going to get the jump off the start. Because I know when I'm going to fire the gun, so I know when to take my first step. I'm going to beat him in a race every time. Whoever fires the gun, whoever says go in a race, wins it. And that's why they have a neutral party firing a gun in the Olympics. So in this scenario, when there's 2 of us out here, and I have this position, if I'm just lifting the leg, he said there's a point where he says, oh no! And then he goes and rolls through. And then I've got to react to him starting the race, whether I can catch him. And that's when most kids have trouble with the Navy ride of catching the guy on his back, is because you're allowing him to say go on the race. You're allowing him to spin through. When we have a leg here, and I'm picking it up, I start picking it up, and he starts going, oh, he's already on his belly, it's too late for me to catch him because he said go in the race. He won that race. So what I'm going to do is say, no, I want the starter pistol. I'm going to say go. So with Navy here, I put my hand here. I just reach down. It's reverse of an elbow control for a high crotch. Just on the opposite. Here's the elbow control. Same thing. But reverse. I'm holding his arms down, so when I step up here, I'm getting to here. I'm saying, you're not going. He can't turn through because I got his arm. I get him wrapped up. I get him twisted like a dish rag. You know, bringing the water out of a dish rag. That's what I'm doing with his spinal cord here. Colin. I'm twisting him here. I'm getting him ready. Now I'm going to say, ready, get set, go. And I'm going to let go. And when I let go, he's going to spin through. But I'm already on the race, winning the race. Ready, get set, go. And I'm going to catch him down here as he spins through. Okay, as he spins through, but I started the race. I had the starter pistol. So the Navy, post the arm here. If you're going to turn it to a cradle, keep the pressure on him. And as you slide in here, look what my elbow's doing. Coming over the head. I'm locking my cradle. From here, I probably take a right angle and a bottom leg bar cradle. Or I just drop down into a half Nelson. But the key on your post up, when you post up with your chin down and dump him off. Your chin comes up, gets under the jawline, good luck. Okay, when you're posting down, elbow deep all the time. Elbow deep, and you'll have the cradle. Okay, if he turns away into a Navy ride, you split the legs, and you get the starter pistol. You say go on the race. Over here, trap is the tricep. Right here on the elbow, above the elbow. Holding it down while you pick it up. So when you're ready to go, you let go and drop. Okay, so we can do the same type of thing as we just showed you from a single leg post up. We can do it from a high crotch. So Jake hits on a high crotch. Okay, here, he's down, a high crotch. He does the very same thing. As soon as I get, he controls the bottom leg, changes it to the other arm, elbow deep. He jumps up to his knees. He puts it to a bottom leg cradle. Okay. So what we're going to do is show you 4 different takedowns here. And the second half of all 4 of those takedowns are the very same thing. Take him down, control the bottom leg, elbow deep, come up to your knees, and then attacking the bottom leg cradle. So we just did a single leg post up. We're going to show you again from a different angle. Instead of staying in the middle circle here, from a high crotch. Now, normally on a high crotch and changing off, he'd flare me, and he'd take me at least 5, 8, 10 feet outside the circle. So please forgive his lack of technique of going 10 feet because we're going to get out of the image of the camera. We're going to try to stay in the center circle here. So if you say, well, that was a very good change off and run across the mat, you're right, it wasn't. But we're trying to stay in the middle here because the technique we're teaching here is the bottom leg cradle. So, high crotch, boom here. He changes off to a double. He would normally take you here, leg here. He controls the bottom leg, elbow deep, jumps back to his knees, I go, uh-oh. I start turning back, doesn't do me a bit of good. Turns into the bottom leg cradle, right angle. Or from this right angle, he can also take this leg, step over the top leg. Oh, that comes up really tight. Okay, if he's in that same position, and before I get my hands locked in the cradle, I go, uh-oh. I turn the other way. He goes right into his knee, holds my arm still. He's twisting me like a dish rag. When he wants to go, he lets go. I try to turn. And he turns into a cradle. Planes out, weight off his knees, legs spread, limbs on his tree. Okay. Okay, the very same thing we just covered. The very same thing. Bottom leg, maybe right. Bottom leg near cradle, bottom leg far cradle. Happens. Last thing we do is high crotch. Now it's double leg. So we post up, high crotch change, and now he just goes into the double leg, steps up, does the same thing, the same finish up as your high crotch. I mean, I don't think I need to show it, but just for demonstration purposes, he does a double leg. He knocks me down. I fight him here. He changes off. I turn my back, and I hit him in the bottom leg. If I would roll through, it'll be back and maybe right. Same finish up. Okay. So now, we have post up, high crotch, double leg. Now here's a semi-sprawled high crotch. All right, he's in on high crotch. I've sprawled. I'm blocking him so he can't change off to a double and flare me down so he can go into the bottom leg cradle. So what we're going to do now, instead of changing off to the leg and knee, he's going to change off to my inside ankle from a semi-sprawled high crotch. He starts coming in. I go, oh! I sprawl down here. I'm fighting. I'm posting the arm so he can't come in and double leg me and take me down. So his inside hand is going to come across the leg here. And now, it knocks me down. He's in the same position he was before. He's going to change hands here. Elbow goes deep. The other hand comes out. I go, oh! Again, we're back in that same position. Okay, if I get the whole way to my belly, it doesn't do me any good. He comes over top, grabs my lat, drives me forward, and takes me out. Okay? So, it doesn't matter how much he turns to his belly, as long as you're elbow deep on the bottom leg, you're going to get a bottom leg cradle. So we have sprawl single, sprawl high crotch, and it comes in and goes across there. Let's do it one more time. Just do the, show you how to trap the leg here. Just go a different angle out. High crotch here, I start sprawling. I'm posting so it can't change off that double. So he comes across the inside, grabs that, knocks me down. And even if I hang on to it and start fighting here, he's already changed to the elbow deep on the knee. At this point, he windmills his right arm up over my face. And now I'm taking down into the position where he comes up top and locks the legs. And from here, if I turn that way, he goes into the knee. So, we have multiple ways of getting into that bottom leg from the sprawled back. Now, we have a cross-face crotch situation from the down position we were doing takedowns a second ago, now to a Turk. So, referee's position, I'm going to do a cross-face crotch. I'm going to pick the bottom leg up and take it to a Turk. So I have a cross-face crotch alignment here. I go down to the near knee. We'll come out of the crotch area, if you can see that, and I slide down to the near knee. As I slide down to the near knee, I'm going to keep driving him up. I got control of his left arm. Left arm's responsible for 9 to 12, halfway between, 10:30. I'm driving at 10:30. So I'm going to drive him that way, and I'm picking the knee. So I go from cross-face crotch down to the knee. I pick the knee up as I drive him at 10:30, and I step into a Turk. From here he goes, uh-oh. He turns back to his belly, and I'm trying to bring him back. Now, on these, everyone has different ways of getting a guy over a Turk. We're going to turn this to a cradle. Let me show you a little trick on Turk, though. Okay, this is something I've always done, because eventually when you get upper level here, high school, semifinal type kids and above, college kids, first thing he's doing is protecting his face here, so I can't come in and I can't get his face. I have to pull him back. He's guarding himself here. So what I do to fake him out here is I make him think I'm going to try to get his face with my right hand. And I'm not. Okay, so I put my hand on the mat here. That allows me to stay upright. put my hand down here. He thinks I'm coming in with a hand. My free hand, I go in underneath him here, and I get him with the chin. Chin, elbow comes up, so my face, my arm goes straight up past his nose, his mouth, between his eyes, and up the top of his forehead. I come in here, arm up, and then I pull. Now, I'm not on his throat, I'm not on his mouth, I'm not on his nose, but I've exposed his head. Now I can, boom, come back in with that arm and take him back over. You do the very same thing if you have legs in, and you lift him down. This has nothing to do with cradles, but it's a little bonus piece in here, even though you bought the tapes for cradles. Okay, legs in here, you're trying to pull him over. He says no, hand down. He doesn't see you coming in this way. Turn up my knees, or 90. Okay, from here, post, come in underneath, here. Once you grab his chin here, up across, see how I'm coming up across, right up the face, and pull. I'm not on his nose, mouth, or throat. Okay, doesn't change. At that point, you have what you want. And you take him on over. But when you're going for a Turk, or you're riding regular legs, he's going to be doing this. He knows his arm's coming in, so his hands are up here on the right side. You're sneaking in behind from the underside and pulling back. Creep. Right, back to on the cradles here. Cross face, crotch, down to your knee, pick the near knee up, step in to your Turk, and you're fighting this situation here. Now, you can stay with the Turk, certainly, no problem. The chance of pinning somebody in a Turk or slim to none, and slim left town. Now, I'm not saying you can't get pinned, but it's really difficult. I want a cradle. Your hands locked in a cradle. Cradles dust people. Ends it. Okay, so I want to replace my left leg with my left arm. So I let him come off his back just for a second. I take the pressure off of him for a second, and then I go down, and now I don't get up off of him, but I'm going to for the demonstration here. I'm going to take my left hand and replace my left leg. So as I slide back, my left hand's going to slide down here and get in there between the leg, and I'm going to go elbow deep on the back of his knee joint. This one over here, but right here at the back of the knee. Elbow deep here. Once I got my elbow deep, then I can unhook the leg, unhook the Turk. Now I'm back to the same, I'm back to the same thing we were in the double leg, the post up, a high crotch, the sprawl, high crotch. We're in the same position. He's laying on his side. I am controlling his bottom leg, and I'm elbow deep on his knee. Elbow deep, elbow deep, elbow deep at the knee. Kids won't do that. You have to stay on about it. Elbow deep. Okay? If he goes completely to his belly, no problem. He starts crawling forward, no problem. Get a hold of him, hold him still. No, I'm grabbing his shirt to give you the idea of it. I'm just going to hang on to his ladder. Hold him still and start driving into him. It buckles him up into a bottom leg cradle. So, we have cross-face crotch. You're driving, slide down to your knee, pick the knee up, step in. The higher you can attack on the thigh, the better it is in the Turk. I'm not going at the knee or lower. I'm coming up and catching with the thigh. Elevate. Okay, if you want to go in and get his chin, you can certainly do that. You can drop back off. I like to. Because everything I do is going back to the cradles. Remember, the sixth element of a takedown, the sixth element of a ride, the sixth element of a reversal, all end in pins. If you want to get good at pinning, you add pinning to each technique that you do. Fireman's carry to a headlock, double leg to a bottom leg cradle. Okay, ankle pick to stepping up, and holding his leg in the air. Everything you do, a switch, a side roll, all your takedowns, when you're drilling, you end in a pin, not back points. When you get them on, hold them down, and look for a second. Use your eyes. You've got 2 eyes to see, 2 ears to hear. Listen and see. In this case, look. If you don't hear this, the referee probably is saying shoulders aren't down. So I want you to practice. As soon as you put them on his back, you look with your eyes. Use your eyes for a second. Look down. Because if you're not hearing that, something's wrong. One shoulder's up, or 2. Look, see which one's up, and then you adjust accordingly. You push into them a little bit if it's the top shoulder. You just slide back a little bit if it's the near shoulder. So you adjust a little bit till you get those shoulders down. And then you cut them loose, come on back up, and you drill the takedown again. He drills it on you. And he goes and adds the 6th element. Remember, stance, motion, number 2. Level change, number 3. Penetration, number 4. Finish up, number 5. You get your 2-point takedown. 5 elements, 2 points. You add the 6th element, that's 1 more element, you get 3 bonus points, or you have an opportunity to make it a terminal takedown. End the match, that's the idea, end the match. So we add the pin to the end of all your drills. Add the pin to the end of all your drills, and your team and you as an athlete will become a feared pinner. You'll be very good at what you're doing. Okay, so we have the tear. Now, if I take some turf kick and I take it through, and he goes on through, if I push it a little too far and he goes away, it's the same thing we were doing before on that bottom leg cradle. He turns the other way, we turn into kind of a navy. If I do a really good job with the Turk, I reach down to his knee, I pick it up, I attack behind the thigh here, behind the thigh. And before he goes on through, I'm holding him here, maybe I get his foot here, and I start bringing him here, and I'm getting back points. What I want to do is, again, I'm getting back points, and I'll ride him till the cows come home, but I won't pin him here. I can ride the whole period here. I want to stick him. And I want my coach to go, attaboy, you got 16 points. I like that. Good idea, coach. What I want to do on here is, instead of keeping his foot, I come back, I let go of the foot for a second, I come in, and I'm splitting here, going on the inside of his leg. I'm coming from here to here. And then I let my fingers do the walking through the yellow pages. Let my fingers do the walking. 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 And I lock the hands. Now I've got a Turk, bottom leg, far side, cradle. And if you look at the color of his face, it's changing from white to red. There's a reason for that. Okay, so we have Turk here, we have on his back. We go from this position to this position. Walk, 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 walk. Walk, 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 walk. Okay? Until you can't walk. So you have the Turk, let your fingers do the walking, lock your hands, finger curl, thumb at the top, bury your fingers, thumb at the bottom. Why did we tell you to do that earlier in the tapes? Block it so he can't get a hold of a finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, break him free. Roll, start here, roll, thumb, hold, here. Again, we're practicing during commercials of your favorite TV show. Just practice doing this. Quick, get them locked, get them locked, get them locked. And then look, say, okay, you see my fingernails. If I can see any fingernails, you're not doing it right. Practice, practice, practice. You don't break a sweat at home watching TV doing that. But it does make you better at cradles. Okay, we can also do a standing fireman's carry into a bottom leg cradle. This is one of those, you might call it a clinic move, but it works. But that's up to you. You can do it from, here, his back, his chin. Sometimes you'll be in this position where you get his head down, and you'll be in a head in a hold position, but you're from standing here. Okay? If I pull him down, what do you think he's going to be doing? Push him back up. If I'm pushing into him, he's going to come back into me. So a reaction, typically, your opponent will give you an opposite or equal reaction. So I'm pulling his head down on this for a second. He's trying to get his head back up because I'm leaning down on his head. And when I'm ready to go, I let his head come back up and keep my hand on his head here. And I'll push, pull, he comes up. I'm coming in on a fireman's carry. Fireman's carry, knee, head starts to get down, he goes through. Okay. And from here, elbow deep, bottom leg cradle. Here, right angle, spread your legs, put limbs on his tree, get as much weight as you can on his chest. And a little better for the chest on chest is chest on face. Go from here to here. Now he can't see, he can't breathe, he has no clue what's going on. Now, he has a choice. I can either lay there and he says, I can't breathe. The ref, or he says, I don't think I like this, so he turns his head. Now he can breathe. A guy that has his head straight up like this can bridge. When his head's turned to the side, he can bridge, but he's bridging off of his shoulders. So he has a choice. It's a minor technicality. You're not allowed to cut his breathing off because that's illegal, clearly. But he has a choice. He can turn his head. Now I can breathe. Well, if I turn my head, I can't bridge. Not my problem. That's your problem. Okay? Lay on his face. He'll turn his head. He turns his head so he can breathe because he'd rather breathe and get pinned than not breathe and not get pinned. So he has a choice. They always turn their head. When they turn their head, they can't bridge anymore, and that's good for me. Okay? So I just say, okay, I think you want to turn your head, don't you? Now I can breathe, but he can't bridge. So we do that from front headlock. All right, defending cradles. How do we defend cradles from guys that are on top of you? Well, when you get a good guy with cradles on you, you're in trouble to start with. There are some defenses you can get in there, but if he knows his offense better than you know the defense, it's just like a double leg. If I spend half hour every day on defending double leg, and he spends an hour every day shooting double legs, the chances of me being able to defend it are not that good. Same with cradles. You get a good cradler, prevention is the best cure, just like anything. We have 3 types of defensive situations in cradles. We have preventative cradles. We have aggressive counters, and we have passive counters. Okay, so preventive counters, aggressive, and passive. Preventive is like, stop it from happening. Okay, how are we going to stop it happening? When you can usually see most of your cradles coming. If a guy's over here, and let's say he's looking for a near cradle. Okay, from near cradle far, doesn't matter. He's in a near cradle, he's going to come over top of my head, and he's looking to come down and lock his hands on a near cradle. As soon as that hand comes over, there's only one move in wrestling he's going to do with his hand draped over my head, and that's a cradle. No bar arms, no half Nelsons, he's looking for a cradle. Okay, so right away I should go, uh-oh, cradles. What I want to do is come up and grab his fingers. Okay, now, if I come up and grab with both hands, as I showed you, then he's going to come under and have a bicep cradle on. Because I'm bringing my arms in to get his fingers, which gives him my bicep. He takes that, and now he's got a cradle on. It's a bicep cradle. Okay, so first thing I want to do is not bring my inside arm in. I reach down, I get his fingers. Do not grab his wrist. Do not grab his wrist, because you haven't stopped the cradle. He's going to use his fingers to hang on. Okay, so you've got to control the fingers, not the hand, not the wrist, the fingers. Okay, and you have to have at least 4. Or the referee's going to get bent out of shape over this. Okay, so as soon as he starts scraping over, come up and get his fingers. Now you stop the grip from taking place. All right, once you get to here, you don't stop. Now, if I do quickly, I usually go up with my other hand and grab it, although I'm giving him a bicep cradle, but I'm not spending any time here. Grab, pull, and put the arm to the other side of my head. As long as the arm's on this side of my head, he's got a shot at the cradle. I get his arm on the other side of my head. Now I can fight him here. He can even grab my bicep. It doesn't do any good. He doesn't have a cradle anymore. I can come out of here and start fighting. So the idea is fingers, grab, pull over, and get it to the other side of my head. So when you're down here and you're wrestling, all of a sudden you see this hand draping over here. You know what he's going for. Okay? First thing you're going to do is prevent. Preventive medicine. Fingers, 2 hands, take it to the other side. Now you got hand control. Now you can start coming up and looking to shear through. Okay, so finger control first. Okay, if he's going near, we can take that off. Okay, and we can sit if we wanted to. If he drapes, so if I reach out and grab his fingers and get him stopped from grabbing, now I stop the cradle, and what I'm going to do is sit out now. Here and sit. That takes his hand off my leg, allows me to start coming out, or if I want one, I head that way. If I want 2, I head back into him. But sitting out doesn't mean that good if he has his hands locked, because he has the forward roll. So before the hands get locked, that's the preventive part. Don't let him get his hands locked. Fingers control. Not hands, not wrist. Fingers. Okay, he drapes over. You're wrestling here. I go, whoa. Fingers. As soon as I get fingers, I step to the outside. I close my hand, and I'm sitting. That clears that hand. Now I can either go this way and get my 1, or I can work up and see if I can attack. Maybe I will, maybe I won't be successful, but by sitting out here and start throwing off and coming around, maybe I can get a little flurry for a reversal. If you're looking the safe way to get out, you're heading out of dodge. Finger control, sit on the far cradle. Okay, if you step up and you start seeing he's going for a far cradle, you get to hear he's draping. Again, when the hand comes over, all right, now I know he's going far cradle. Now I do just reverse. Fingers, and duck it over the other side. Okay? Now I do the same sit-down. Okay? When I'm here, I start stepping up, and he starts getting there. I go, O-S. We know what that stands for earlier. Take fingers, fingers, fingers. Get the hand to the other side. Okay? Now, out. Okay, so near cradle here, fingers, take it out there. Now I feel very vulnerable now. I don't think I have control of him at all. Even if I had the weight on him, I don't think I have very much here. Okay, if he steps up to the outside and start coming over here, fingers on the other side. Okay, and now I'm lost. So it's putting the hand on the opposite side of the head from where he drapes it. If he drapes it on this side, he's clearly looking for a near. That's probably his favorite. Take it to the other side. If he's draping on this side, take it to the other side. Okay, these are preventative things. On a cross-face cradle series, when the guy puts a cross-face on you, guys, you're in trouble. He can't do anything if this isn't here. When this is here, you're going to be ridden and you're going to be turned. This is the key for him, and if that's the key, you've got to get it out of the lock. Reach up, take it off. Now, we talked about before, each finger's worth 10 pounds of pressure. So I lock this when you're trying to pull my hands apart. You have to pull it 100 pounds, 101 really, to make me break my hands. But you're weaker than him. You can roll the fingers and make the fingers pop, 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 one at a time. We talked about that earlier in the DVDs. Same thing's true here. When he has his hand over here, if I try to pull it off, I got to pull it 50 pounds to have all the 5 fingers come off the elbow, unless I roll the hand off. Okay, if he's up here, I want to reach up and I want to grab his paddle. It's like a canoe paddle, broad here, water. I want to grab the canoe paddle and I'm twisting it. So I'm taking all 5, or at least these 4 fingers. I'm coming up and I'm coming to the inside and I'm peeling down. See how the fingers are coming off one at a time? Here. Boom, 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 boom. And off. I can't just come up and try to peel it off because I've got to fight all 5 fingers. I want to fight one at a time. I come up, inside, and twist it. Okay. So, when you're down, even if you're broken down, and he's got the crossface on you, and you're going, uh-oh, you reach up, you still have to peel off one at a time. I'm getting all 4 fingers on the inside of his thumb, and now I'm going to start turning. First thing that comes off is his thumb. I don't know if you can see it in slow motion. Thumb comes off, then the index finger, then the middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger. Okay, I can't just reach up here and pull it off. I've got to rotate it off. All right. So these are preventive measures for defending cradles. Okay, hand to the other side, finger control, not hand, not wrist control. If you're down, you've got a cross face, you take it off. Okay. On aggressive counters, on a far cradle, if he's over here and he's coming across in a far cradle, I step up, he comes over, he's going to come to the side the cradle's on, and if he comes out this way and starts to sit, to pull me back, what I want to do is hook a leg here. I take my leg, hook his foot. Now, we're in the second level here. This is aggressive counters. He's already got it locked. He's going to take you over. This is one of those OS positions that you're scrambling for your life at this point. Okay, when he goes in there, you hook the foot. But if I hook the foot, he can just take his foot and step back over, and I no longer have the hook. So when I hook, I have to grab my foot. So when we go on back, I keep the foot here. And now I have a free leg here I'm going to drive off of. And I'm going to keep driving back into it. Okay, he's got a cradle on me, but he's flat. I'm not. The ref might for a second or two go 1001, 1002. I may lose 2 back points here. And then the ref's going to go, and I'm going to win on defensive pin. Okay, so what I want to do here is keep pressuring into him. And sooner or later, he's going to go OS, and he's going to break out of that. He has to let go of that cradle, or he's in trouble. If he sits through and gives me that leg, it's the same grab thing. He comes out here and hooks that way. I hook. So I can hook this leg or this leg, whatever leg happens to be there. Hook and grab. Hook and grab. Hook and grab. Keep your hand. If he just has it just hooked there, he kicks it free. Now he goes back into the offense here. If I can keep it hooked here, now he's flat on his back. I'm not, he is. Okay? So, it's getting the foot hooked and grabbing where your bunions would be to your big toe, right in here, above the arch of the shoe. Here, big toe, down to the arch. You grab this. And now you have him on his back. Okay. If he comes another way, if you like that, that's something if you can get a hold of his feet. If not, as soon as he's hopping through, you learn to arm through on a guy. He's going to do the very same thing. He's going to jump across on your side. Okay? As I step up, he starts coming. As soon as he starts jumping over, I go from here, and I go to cat back. Okay, I don't have to come up. I throw my back up like a cat going, okay, same thing. When I do that, that gives me a cat, then I can get my arm through. Okay? If I keep my back flat, I can't get my arm through. I've got to raise my back up, like a cat. Here, and your arm comes through. And you do not grab his head. Do not try to pin him. He still has you. Now, he'll have his hands locked in a minute, but I'm trying to look at the camera and talk to you. Keep your hand out here as a base, because he's going to take you that way. It's his only choice. So as you go on, you're here. And you've got him. Now, if you would lock your hand around his head, trying to pin him here, and he rolls, you don't have a post over there. And over you go. You've got the post out there. Now he's not getting through it. But coach, how do I get him out of here? Your free hand comes in through here. So, post and keep it. Free hand comes in this way. Now you can go to half Nelson. That also breaks the grip. As long as you're on this side of the arms, he keeps that grip, and he might get you over. Get your hand in and through. Now you can start working for your half Nelson. Okay. So, as he jumps over, you go from flat back to cat back. Cat. And you get your arm through. Keep your arm out, 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 keep your arm out. Then take your hand and go in between his arms. Okay? And that is a aggressive counter to a far cradle. It's aggressive in that he already has the hands locked and you're going, I don't think I like that position. But again, if you're going to get cradle guys, and you're going to, you have a kid that's going to see a cradle guy in semis in the districts or whatever, and you know it's coming, then you have, work on the figure control, get it to the other side of the head. If he gets his hands locked on the far, your arm through. If it's a near cradle, you do the same thing. Now, I'm going to show you a near cradle arm through, and you're going to go as a coach, I don't know if I'm going to teach that to my kids. But I'm going to come back here shortly, and I'm going to show you some drills for cradles that kids can practice rolling around and getting comfortable with it. Once they start learning these drills, where they look for cradles, they get cradles, they take a guy over, they start rolling around, they feel comfortable, then you'll say, what I'm showing you right this moment makes a lot more sense. But right now, if you have a rookie defensive guy, you want to probably don't put this in your arsenal. I've had a lot of success with it because I love cradles. And if I'm a good cradle guy, I've been in it long enough. Once I get my arm out, I got the cradle on him, and I believe in my own cradles because I've locked my hands up enough. So if you have a cradler, show him this defense. If he's not a cradler at all, then probably put this on the shelf and bring it out another time for another kid. Okay, he's got a near cradle on me. Here, what I want to do is I want to get my arm out. This is either going to save me or bury me. I go flat back to cat back again, and I get my arm through. I'm pulling my arm through, up, and I get his chin. I have his head. He's got my head. Now, from here, here's the key. This is pretty easy to do. If you don't do this next step, you're in trouble. Okay, I'm going to take my right leg that he's got cradled, and I'm going to slip it in here and hook his foot. Over here, underneath. Okay, from here, hook. I want his leg hook. Once I hook his leg, then I can start sitting up. And now I'm going to turn this into a cradle as well. So now I have cradled the cradler. I have a cradle, he has a cradle. And we have a drill coming up called a cradle-re-cradle drill in this exact position. And in a cradle-re-cradle drill, whoever gets their leg hooked in wins the drill. I've already got my leg hooked right here. So I've already won the drill. You'll see the drill in a minute. So sit, and now I'm taking him up. He can't roll me back on my back because I got his leg hooked. If I let go of that leg, he can bridge off that and win the position with me. Or I can roll and win the position with him. So this is the basis of that cradle-re-cradle drill that you'll see. It's who has the leg hooked. So, if I had a near cradle on him, same thing. Near cradle here, he's gets his arm through, there's my chin, he gets my leg hook. Once the leg is hooked, now I'm in trouble. Now he's going to keep his head up, he's dropping down my side. And he locks up, and since he has the leg hooked here, my goose is cooked. Okay?
So when he comes over, I can't roll on through. He lets go of that. And I'll roll him on through. And I'll come up. And then I'll go. That one's okay. That one's okay. It don't matter which leg you use, just a leg hook there. So, it's a cradle drill. The other thing is, before you get that leg hooked in, he drives you down and you go, oh no! You don't get the leg hooked in. Well, he's got to drive you down pretty quick in order to keep me from getting my leg hooked in. When he does that, I'm going to do a kind of a modified Granby roll. I have his chin. I'm going to give it a pull as I go into my Granby. It rolls me on through. So when I do this, I'm going to be moving pretty rapidly this direction. And I'll probably stop out here with the clock. Okay. Here, I get my arm through, and before I get a chance to get my leg hooked here, he pulls my head down. Okay, good, stop. All right. As he pulls my head down, don't do it yet, I then start pulling his head. I pull his head. Okay, and I'm doing a Granby. I clamp and I do a Granby. I'm trying to sit up. If I can sit up, that's what I prefer. If he says BS, I'm going to let you sit. And he takes his elbow and starts bringing his head down, and I can't sit up. Then I got to go, Holy Mary, oh my God, and I go. This is one of those, you're on your way to your back anyhow, what the heck? You know what I mean? Roll. Now, you get into this position. Back to the cradle drill. You get a cradle on him, get a leg hooked in, win the match. Okay? So the idea is to get your leg hooked in. It's one of those, okay, I'm on my way down, what am I going to do here? It's really easy to do, but it's something you have to do at least 2 or 3 times before you get it in a match situation. So we'll see how he does. He's never seen this before. He's going to have to do it now on camera. What do you think, Dad? No pressure. Okay. Here, he gets the arm through. He gets my chin. Now I'm going to say, I'm not letting him get the leg hooked in here, because I know what he's doing. I'm going to say, BS is going your head right away, son. I'm going to start lowering his head down as I start taking his head down. He's going to have his arm come in here, and he's going to start pulling this without breaking my neck, thank you. Okay. And on the way down here at the grip. And he's going to end up here. Okay. I'm going to get back to my base. I'm going to do this to get back to my base. Come on back. See what I did? I can't stay here. I got to get to my base. So I've got to flip-flop my feet to get back up to my base. And as I flip-flop my feet, I'm bringing my right knee close to my head, where he can turn around and cradle it up. As soon as he gets there, he knows get leg hooked in. Now he wins. He got that leg hooked up over here. If he doesn't have it, I might win. I still have a chance of rolling him through. If I roll through, I'll get the leg hooks. If I get the leg hooks, I win. He doesn't, I'll get the leg hooks. I'll start driving in. Now he got me, because he got my leg hooked over here. So, as a coach, you're probably going, okay then, looks good. Well, unless, if you have cradlers who know cradles, you want to teach them that. A youngster who has no kinesthetic sense, you know what I'm talking about. You probably want to shelve that for a little later. Okay. Now, near in flat position, in near leg down position, and I got a leg hooked in. All right, here, got my cradle here. What he's trying to do in this position to be aggressive is to, really stop and get pinned. He's trying to get his leg hooked in on me, and he's trying to arch. If I have my near cradle, he's not in a good position. All right, let me back up for a second. Near cradle or far cradle or cross-face cradle, when he's in the down position, his job is to dig a hole and get in it. Dig a hole, get in it. There is no space, not a nanosecond of an inch, between his belly, his chest, and the mat. He's taking his belly button and going, suction cupping it to the mat. He's getting his arms and his limbs out on his tree. He's becoming that 4x8 sheet of plywood we talked about earlier, who doesn't want to roll. Okay, that gives you some, that's not bad. Every inch you're off the mat, it makes it easier for me to turn you over. If you get there, it's 10 seconds on the mat, and I open my hands, you go, OS, boom. Hit your belly, suction cup your belly button down, get your hands out and pray. Okay, he doesn't know what he's doing. Okay, that'll stop me, even though the guy knows what he's doing, for 10 or 15 seconds till he figures it out. 10 or 15 seconds left in the period, you win. Okay, but if you stay on your knees, you give me 2 inches of sunshine between your belly and the mat, I'm going to turn you over immediately. Okay, so what you're doing on near or far is down there. Next thing you want to do is I want to be in all pinning combinations at a right angle, a T. You know, when you turn him over, right angle, chest on chest, you know that story. All right, so in order to turn him over, I want to do it from a right angle. The counter to this is not letting that right angle to occur. He's going to take his right leg, and when it's closest to me, he's going to hook in on my leg, and he's going to arch his back, and you'll see what happens. It goes from a T to an I, 2 bodies laying next to each other. So when I have my hands locked here in the near cradle, and I'm starting to take him over, he's going to get his leg hooked in here. He just came in and hooked his leg right here. Okay? Once he gets his leg hooked, then he's going to arch. Okay? And what he's trying to do, he's trying to move his body that, not up, but out that. You see, if you've lifted off the mat, you're going to get in trouble. Just scoop. There. So now I'm here, I'm laying next to him, I'm no longer out here at a right angle. I was at a right angle here, he turns and looks that way, he starts scooting that way. Now, from here, that's very difficult. Stay right there, don't move. From here, it's very difficult to turn him over when we're parallel. And the other thing, Stephen, we talked about the hand grip. We always lock your cradles far. And a near cradle, not far cradle. Near cradle is locked with your hands next to his head. You come on back in. Here, I want to lock my hands up here next to his head. He can't straighten his leg and break my grip. But when he hooks his leg and starts turning that way, my grip slides from this lock here down to mid-level. And that's where my fingers get pressured and it gets broken. So, from here, you hook your leg and you turn your head away. And you start scooting away from him this way. Once they keep your belly down, keep him low. Jump on you. Near cradle, I go, uh-oh! You know, I get the leg hooked here before he starts diving over the top. I want to start looking the other way and start crawling at it. The more I crawl this way, it breaks the hands. Okay, I'm trying to get parallel to him. I'm trying to eliminate the right ankle. Okay. Okay, defense again of the cradles. As we talked about some of the things you can do, hand across, cross face, pull the hand off, get the fingers, not the wrist, not the hands. Down here, you get your arms through on a far cradle, arms through on a near cradle. Again, you have to have a certain type of kids that can do that. The last thing is, when in doubt, dig a hole, crawl into it. Talked about that a moment ago. All right, dig down, twist. Okay, when he's down here, anytime I lock the cradle up, even if let's go back up, I'm sorry. If I take a near cradle, here, as soon as he goes, uh-oh, and it's 10 seconds to go, belly down. I mean, dig a hole and get in it. The lower you are, every half inch you get lower, you go up 4% chance of not being turned over. So boom, 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 boom. Get down here, you know. And it's not like freestyle where, you know, if I start to tap one side, you swoop your hips the other way, and then swoop, you know, swoop your legs, swoop your legs back the other way. So you turn your hips back and forth with your belly button, keep suction cup down to the mat, okay? And then you start crawling forward. Sometimes this analogy doesn't work, but sometimes it doesn't. You know, ducks in the pond, floating, boom, easy to shoot. They're flying, they're more difficult. In this situation, if he stays in the flat suction cup position, eventually I'm going to figure out how to turn him over, pick him up, take him on over. If he's crawling forward, a little bit moving one way, moving the other. Motion will get your butt out of trouble here because you're not letting me set up my move. It's setting it up versus the flying duck scenario. So when I get down here, and he's belly down, every time I start to hook into something, he's crawling. It becomes more difficult to lock up and get what I want. So don't sit down and go, and just freeze. Won't be any good. Suction cup down, belly, slow movement. You don't have to crawl across the mat and get out of bounds. Just slow movement left, slow movement right. You're moving around, keeping your belly down. Don't get up to crawl and come back down. Get up, crawl, come back down. As soon as you come up, you're going over. You stay down. Stay on your belly, crawling left, crawling right, but stay down. The lower you get into that, the better off you are in defense and cradles. Next thing we're going to spend some time on is just drills. And when I've got these drills set in here that we're going to go over, I start at the elementary level of the drills. I moved to middle school, I moved to high school, I moved to collegiate. It's not so much that they're elementary, middle, high school, and collegiate, that they progress
in difficulty as I go through them here. And you want to start getting your high school kids on the basic one that I would call the elementary or the first level of the drills. And as they start to feel comfortable in the drills, then you can elevate it to new levels. But, if you're starting out, you want to start with the first one. That's the first one we're doing here. This is a coach-directed drill. So coach is standing out here. All right, one guy, step up with the far leg. Okay, now step up with the little leg, near leg. Okay, do a sit-out. Okay, now quad pod up, where you get your butt in the air. You have the 4 points down. So he walks the kids through it one at a time. The kid then activates from here. What we're going to do is, I'm riding here. The coach says, okay, step up far leg, bottom man. Okay, as soon as he steps up, I have choice of two. Okay, we're going to go far cradles first, guys. All right, bottom leg, step up. Bottom man, step up far leg. Okay, push into him, slide up from chest on chest to tummy on chest. Go from chest on chest, slide forward, so you get down to your tummy on his back. Okay, chest on back to the tummy on back. From here, slide forward, reach over, elbow joint at the neck, down at the knee, or a little bit above the knee. Lock your hands in the butterfly grip, or regular finger roll grip, and I like on the side the cradle's on. Okay, let go, back here. Now you're riding opposite side. Okay, bottom guy, step up far leg. He steps up far leg. Instead of going to the far cradle, which I certainly could do, coach is saying, okay, far cradle again on the other side. Also, he might say far cradle or near cradle, opposite side. So he steps up far leg. I spin to that side and I drop off. Spin behind him and drop off. Down a little near cradle. As soon as I got my near cradle, I can let go. I'm on this side. All right, bottom man, quad pod up. I'm here. He starts coming up. Quad pod near. So from here, I drop down to a near cradle and lock my hands. Okay? Goes back down. Maybe I go to the other side. Again, coach directed. Quad pod up. Spin the other side. Drop off to a near. Spin behind him. I'm going slow. Spin behind him and drop off. Boom. Down to a near cradle. Back up. Okay, far cradle. Step up. Step up, far cradle. Just reach over, go to a far cradle. Step up, slide, boom. Lock your hands. Okay, so we have the step up, quad pod up, or the bottom guy can sit out. All right, bottom man, we're going to do a sit out. Bottom man, sit out. Top man, chest pressure for our cradle. Chest pressure for our cradle. So I'm going to get chest pressure forward. That holds him still for a second. Come out, sit down next to him. Slide my knee in here, not my foot, underneath the leg, under. Lock my hands at his head here. Not down here at the legs, here at the head. Okay, done. I let go. He goes back to his base. I stay with him here. Coach says, okay, bottom man, sit out. Top man, chest pressure, spin to a near cradle. Here he sits out, chest pressure, spin 180 degrees to the front. Reach down, lock your hands in a near cradle. Okay, and if you want, you can teach him then say, okay, then go forward roll. Finish it, and we'll come back up. Okay, coach. Here, forward roll. Catch the leg. Finish the cradle. Lock it up. Let go of it. Come back up and do the same thing. So all we're doing is just walking through. Move to move to move. Coach says this, move that, move this. And we're going far cradle here. You could probably even slip in cross-face cradles and the same thing. Okay, so that's the beginning drill for near far cradles. You can add cross-face cradles in there if you wanted to and teach it the very same way. Okay, now, next thing is, okay, bottom man is always going to quad pod up. He's going to get his butt up in the air, and we're going to spin to the other side. Very similar to what we just did there. But as soon as he comes up, I'm just spinning and dropping. Okay, from here, he comes up, spin, over, and drop off. Boom, near cradle. I come back down. Okay, he comes up, I spin over, and drop off into a near cradle. I'm spinning around, dropping off to a near. All right, the idea is starting to look for the cradles as he comes up, either in the quad pod position. Okay, then we have chest pressure. This is one that works really well for a drill, and I would use this pretty quickly in my kids' program, my high school program. And this time I'm giving them chest pressure. If I'm pushing the car out of the snow, I put my hands on the side of the car in the back. I don't put my hands on top of the hood and try to push. It doesn't work. Hands on the side. So I'm going to do that same thing here. I'm pushing him from the side. So I'm using my chest on his side. I'm not going to have my chest up on top of him. It doesn't work. It's not really on the chest as much as my hips here. I'm pushing with my hips. See, as I throw my hips into him, see how his body's starting to move this way? So from here, what I'm doing is I'm going to give him chest pressure. I'm going to start pushing him out here at 3 o'clock. Or in this case, 9 o'clock.
As I push you in here 9 o'clock, he puts his leg up. He has to. If he doesn't put his leg up, he's going to fall over. So every kid you wrestle is going to do exactly that. Okay, come on back from here. Hip pressure. He steps up. Forward cradle to back and finish it. Okay, as soon as you do, come on back to the other side. Pressure into him. He steps up. Now I may jump over, drop to a near cradle. I let go. I get in that same position, not doing any time. I chest pressure in. Now I spin this side and drop off into a near cradle. I come back up, chest pressure in. I may reach over and take a forward cradle. So all I'm doing is chest pressure in, chest pressure in. He's feeling the pressure. He's putting the leg up. I can reach over the forward cradle or spin over to the near cradle. Okay. Now, on this one, we're going to do a cradle roll around, where here is, I'm getting a better kinesthetic sense of where I am, where my body is in relation to him in my cradles. I'm just going to get a cradle, a near cradle, and I'm going to start rolling around, flipping over this way, that way. I'm going to get crazy. I'm going to go any way I can dream up. And anytime, key here, anytime you're in trouble with a cradle, or you don't know where you are, you can't figure it out, when in doubt, bridge. Hit a bridge. Not that you're on your back, not that you're in trouble, but a bridging action puts him right back on his back and allows you to get back up on top of him. So it's an offensive movement. It's not defensive like you're in trouble. So what we're going to do is take a near cradle here, and all I'm going to do, head to the side here, high leg over, roll. Hold us back for a second. He comes up. I may, from here sitting down, okay, fine. I do a forward roll. I'm holding through track. I roll over here. I'm just rolling any way I can. I get to here. I somehow go, how the heck did I get here? When in doubt, plant, bridge. When you do, you come on back over, and you're back in control. Now I'm over. Take it out. So the idea is we're rolling all over the place. And if I had younger back, I'd have a better approach. I don't know. But that's the idea. So no matter where I am, I'm starting to get a feel that I'm okay. I know how to come back up on top if I'm in some funky, twisted position, hit a bridge, and back over you go. Now we went to a cradle recradle drill. It's a lot of fun. When you match this up, this is a competitive drill. And it's a live yoke competitive drill. And what you want to do is match up willpowers in your wrestling room. You can have a tough 25-pounder go against a tough 45-pounder, and it'll be an even drill. You can put a 25 and 30-pounder together, and the 25-pounder's tough, and your 30-pounder's average, it won't be a drill. The 25-pounder will kill them. So match up not weight classes in this, match up experience or competitive wills. You can go 3 or 4 weight classes away, and it'll be an even battle if you've got 2 ornery SOBs that both think that they're the best things in sliced bread. And clearly I'm better than Jake here, so I'll just do my best to dumb him down for him. There you go. Okay, cradle recradle. On your hands and knees facing. This is how you start it, gentlemen. Hands and knees, I reach up over top, get his chin. I face him head to head, ear to ear. I reach up, grab his chin. He reaches up, grab my chin. I step up, he takes a near cradle. He steps up, I take a near cradle. And now, he goes in. And now from this position, and when everybody gets in this position, you blow the whistle. And now whoever gets his leg hooked in on the other guy wins the position. We're going to roll around a little bit without trying. We're not going to go competitive here, but you're going to see how it works. We're going to roll around without getting legs hooked in, and you can see how it looks like 2 cats fighting over a ball of yarn. And when we want to stop this, we just get a leg hooked in. Whoever gets the leg hooked in first wins. It's a war. It's a lot of fun things. Cradle, recradle, we go. Okay, let's start again. From here, everybody. He reaches up, he puts his hand around my chin. I reach up, grab his chin. He steps up, gives me the leg. I lock the cradle. I step up, give him my leg. He locks the cradle. And we stop. Someone says, ready, begin. And we start rolling. Okay, here, he's like, hold me. For a second, I push off my leg here, boom. And now I have this. I get the forces out. I'm taking this way. You want to put this to stop? You like it. No. And when the leg gets hooked in, rolling stops. But you get the idea, and you get two competitors going 2 or 3 weight classes with each other. It's a great deal of fun to watch. Okay, bottom in. Now, another drill. It's a spinning drill. The old basic spin behind, put your chest on top, spin around drill. And now, this guy, I don't know when he's going to do it. As I'm spinning, he's going to step up something. Left leg, right leg, quad pot up, sit out. He's going to do something, and I don't know when he's going to do it, and I don't know what he's going to do. His job is not to screw me up. It's to do something and stop. He's not to go here, and then I go for something, he goes, and does something just the opposite. Once he commits himself to do something, step up far leg, step up near, he freezes in that position. I have to say, oh, there it is. Figure out what there it is, and then lock it into a cradle and take him on over. Then we come back, we do the spin again, and he does something else. So I don't know when he's going to do it or what he's going to do. So I'm just spinning. As I'm spinning, I just stay here until he does something. Oh, step up, lock it here, take him on over. Done. I come back, he gets on top, he starts spinning left, he starts spinning right. He doesn't know what I'm going to do or when I'm going to do it. My turn. So I don't know what's there. Maybe it's going to be a near, maybe it's going to be a far. But I'm spinning, changing directions, and sooner or later he's going to do something. When he does, I've got to identify it. I've got to put myself into the finished position for it. I've got to lock it up. I've got to take him over and make it happen. Now, last thing I want to show you here is a more advanced drill. I call it my metronome drill. Like a little metronome, tick, 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 tick. It's a systematic way of drilling your cradles, okay? What he's going to do at the bottom now is he's going to slowly give me something that he just did before. Let's step up this way. His job is to go slowly. Tick, 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 tick. It's not like all over the place. He's just slowly stepping up with this leg, stepping up with that leg, sitting out over here, quad potting up. So he's getting in positions, and as we go along, my job is to see what he did, see what he gave me, lock it up, take him over, hold him to the count of 2, 1001, 1002. Then I let go of the cradle. I keep my weight on him, which you'll notice, while he's still in the down position. And I make him build back up. And then he gets back into a new position. I drop off, lock it, take him over, hold him 1001, 1002. I let go, keep my weight on him. You don't let go of him, get off of him, and let him get back into position. You stay with him. He's going tick, 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 about that speed. You don't have to go faster. All you're trying to do as a coach is make me aware of things. Lock it up, finish it up, take him on over, make him carry your weight. It goes a little bit like this. I'm just right in here, he steps up, I sit for a cradle, tick, on, take him over. 1001, 1002. Let go, keep my weight on him. Keep my weight on him. Make him come up. I push into him. He tripods, quad pots up. Near, hook, take him on over, hold him. 1001, 1002. Let go. Bring him down. Keep your weight on him. Keep your weight on him. Push into him. He stepped up. Okay. Over. Take him on back. 1001, 1002. Let go. Keep your weight on him. Keep your weight on him. Step in one near. Here. Sits. Full roll. Off the leg. 1001, 1002. Let go. Keep your weight on him. Keep your weight on him. Keep your weight on him. Step up again. Force him. So the idea is I'm making him work his way up. I'm making him carry my weight. I'm spinning from one side to another. It's more like pouring water. It's fluid. You're starting to see a smoothness to it. A couple years ago, a bit smoother. Okay, if I'm going into one move to another move to another move, far cradle, near cradle, false face cradle, bottom leg cradle, I could just jump around from one thing to another. And each one ends with a 1001, 1002. I let go, and we go back to our base. Now, there's 3 odds and ends I wanted to show you. The ends is, it's not a drill. I didn't know where they fit into the cross-face, bottom leg, near cradle, under leg cradle that we were going over, things to talk about. Okay, when you have a near cradle, and you have him on his back, and the near shoulder is up, sometimes this will happen. How do you get it down? These are those little what-ifs we take place a lot of times in wrestling. I have my hands locked, I have the leg hooked in, I have it here, and this near shoulder is still up. Right here, this near shoulder is still up. But I've got him tight. How do you get it down? If you can drive a stake down through my heart, being a vampire, kill me, Okay, hold this part still and let my legs go that way, rotate out, which that's what I'm going to do. Watch what happens to the shoulder. Here I'm hanging on to it. Scoot, scoot. Now, I'd scoot normally quicker than I am now, but and your shoulder's now down. I scooted from here to here. My upper body stayed still. I scooted, about 2 feet, and that slowly inches that near shoulder down. So, when you get here and that near shoulder is up, and you're fighting it, scoot, 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 scoot. As you scoot, that near shoulder pops down. Okay. And something I covered on our metronome and our cradle recradle drill and our roll around cradle drill. When you're on your back, when you're anywhere on the mat and you have a cradle on, and you're not sure, that's near cradle, you're not sure where you are, hit a bridge. Just hit a high bridge. If he's completely on you, if he caught you, you have a near cradle, you're here, and he caught you, and you go, uh-oh, I don't like this position. Plant and bridge. You can do a much better bridge than I can anymore. Okay, he's down here, and I've got it caught here. Okay, I'm starting to get him here. He's not in a good position. Don't let go and bail out. Just plant your feet, hips up, and then toss me right back off of it. So, when you're caught, plant your feet, hit a bridge, and you're taking the cradle and you're doing this with it. You're throwing it over your head. And you'll throw him right off you, and you'll be right back in control. He'll be on his back. Match is going to end. So instead of bailing out, letting him get a reversal and 2 back points on you, or 2 and 3, or have you bridging there for a while, bridge ahead of time. Don't wait till bridge when you're losing points. Bridge before you're losing points, and you end up getting the points. That's up to you. So when in doubt, bridge. Last thing we'll talk about is pinning in general. Here's one of the basic rules that I stress with our kids, and it's paid major dividends in all my years of coaching. It's be aware of your location in relation to the out of bounds. Jake wrestled the state semifinals last year and had a young man kicked him right over on an elevator, which I'm going to show here in a couple minutes, and caught him right at the edge. First thing came out of my mouth, turn him around! Location, location! I usually use the word location instead of saying turn around. Turn around, I used to when he was younger. Now it's just location. He knows like when I say location, that means turn him around. When you're pinning a guy, half Nelson cradles, bar arms, I don't care. If the guy's next to the edge, his opponent or his coach is saying, location, Johnny, look at your location. And what his coach is basically saying is, get your butt out of bounds, you're right next to the line, stupid, is what he's saying. And if you get out of bounds, referee stops the match, you get off your back, you get a fresh start in the middle. So if you're doing the pinning, the edge is dangerous. Okay, so what we're going to do is slowly work over this way to the edge. And Jake's going to have me on my back, and I reverse half Nelson right here. Okay, from here, there's the out of bounds line. When he has this, the coach is saying, location. I'm going, you're right. I'm going to start heading out of bounds to save myself here. Now, this isn't a cradle, but we'll turn this to a cradle in a second. The first thing Jake needs to do is he needs to put himself out of bounds. He's going to circle 180 degrees that way and just keep circling me around. There. Now, he's out of bounds. I'm in bounds. I cannot drive that way and go through those 2 major thighs. It doesn't go that way. I've got to go 29 feet that direction to get out of bounds. So he's turned me 180 degrees. So now he can concentrate now on pinning and not concentrate on trying to keep me in bounds. If he stays over here and tries to pull me in, I can drive off my legs better than he can pull me in. And I'm going to get out of bounds. If he turns me around, I can't go that way. I can't drag feet and pull myself that way. It won't work. Okay, so anytime you have a guy on his back, in a cradle, a headlock, a half nose, and bar arms, I don't care what it is. The very first thing you do when the guy hits his back, you think, number one, where am I located in relation to the out of bounds? Number one. And if you're in the middle, forget you didn't even just thought of that. It was just routine you thought of that. Number two, how much time's left? You should have a sense of whether it's probably a minute and a half, probably 45, somewhere in that neighborhood, or boy, it's really close to the end of the period. If you have plenty of time, you take your time. You lock it up, you stick it. If you take an extra 15 seconds to pin the guy, take an extra 15 seconds. So you do it right. The object is not to go fast and make mistakes, it's to go slow and do it right. Okay, so where am I located? If you're in the middle, no problem. At the edge, turn him around. How do you turn him around? You use your legs, you put yourself out of bounds. Turn him around, put your legs here, out of bounds, so he has 28, 29, 30 feet, whatever the size of the mat is, to get out of bounds. He is not going to demoralize the guy. He was right here, that far from getting out of bounds, and now all of a sudden he's that far, 30 feet from getting out of bounds. Oh, no. It takes him down a little bit. Good thing to do. How much time's left? If you have 10 seconds or less to go, then you have to scramble. Forget the technique, forget locking it in, forget tightening it up. Just squeeze all you got because you don't have any time to tie it up. You just squeeze and grunt and see if you can get the pin because you don't have time to get it technically right. There's no time on the clock. You got plenty of time, take your time. If you're in the middle, don't worry about it. So, where you're located, how much time's left, and once you go through that thought process, boom, boom, those two thought processes, then you can go in and spend the time on pinning. So pinning, whether it's half nails, forearms, half nails, cradles, whatever, doesn't matter. Take your time and look for what you're doing and where you're located on the mat, and you'll have a lot of success. Okay, in the bonus material, these are things that I did when I wrestled. I think you'll enjoy them. Standing whizzer. A lot of times you get into situations where a guy take an underhook on you. Okay, from here, you can go into a standing whizzer. Now, the underhook, coaches tell you, he's in an advantage position. Well, I think I'm in an advantage position with the overhook, but that's personal opinion. Okay, here, I turn my side. Why I turn this into an advantage position is what I do with this leg. As long as he's in the underhook position, he's got the offense. I turn my side to him so we're facing the same direction, and I stick my leg between his legs. The further I get my leg in here, the more I control him. Okay, now I'm in the control position, because I think so. Okay, as long as my leg's in here, splitting his legs. I don't want to just stand in here. I stick it in there. Deeper the better. Okay, now, from here, if I start hitting the whizzer, trying to whizzer it down, he's going to fight me and go, no. And see, he's lowering his level to get upright here, because he doesn't want to fall forward. As soon as I do this, that near leg's going to go here. I'm going to do a leg cut back. This leg's going to up, boom, catch that foot. This hand's going down behind the knees. Okay, once I have the cut back, I turn it into a cradle. Okay, from here, I lock my hands. Now, I don't have a regular cradle, but I have kind of his head, because his arms attached to his neck, which is attached to his head, and I still got the leg here. I got a cradle. It's a modified cradle, but I still got it. Okay, cut back. Okay, we can do the same thing for standing with a single leg up. I place him right here. If I got a shallow whizzer, I'm fighting in here. What I want to do is if he can stay a right angle, if he can keep his feet in a triangle position here, okay, triangle, he wins the position. If I can get my leg around so it goes point, 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 straight line, I win the position. So if I can hop, hop, hop around, so now the feet are in a straight line, I win the position. A triangle, he wins the position. He can jab me down, bump me, lift me, change off and flare me. Okay, so now I pick up here, fight, hop, 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 just for a second, back down, behind the knee, catch your leg here, boom, boom, cut back. Lock your hands, straighten your leg. Cut back. You can do it from standing with a whizzer. You can do it fighting with a single leg. Hop, 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 straight line. Okay, we have a Bill Smith throw. Bill Smith, 52 Olympic champion of the United States. He was really good in this whizzer. And from here, it's a whizzer, but most whizzers are whizzering a guy down. In this case, you have to be a little taller, or equal to his height or taller than he is. If you're shorter than he is, forget this one. Bill Smith was tall in his weight class. I'm going to hit the whizzer. I'm coming in, you'll see this in some judo in here. Here, and I'm coming in right up the crotch. I'm coming up straight up between his legs, and I'm lifting him up onto his tiptoes. I want to lower my hip in here and get him up. As I do that, I'm going to throw the whizzer. But the whizzer, I'm picking him up. I pick him up and then whizzer. I don't whizzer him down. That'll be a mistake everyone makes. If you have one to make. Here, leg comes in, up. So my outside leg comes in behind me, here, step, lift, and over. Okay, that's slow motion. Okay, now we have the same position in here. If he's looking to reach across the bear hug, coming into the bear hug, there, to lock me up. As he's coming in, I'm going to catch his arm at his elbow joint. Elbow joint, elbow joint. Here, or even as the hand's locked, I'm going to come in and go through here. I'm not going up to his armpit. Elbow joint, here to here. And now I'm going to do is lock my hands. I have a headlock, but it's a different headlock. I'm pulling my arms to me this way. I'm catching him at his elbow, not up here. I will lose it if I catch him with the armpit. I'm wrestling in here. He reaches across, he locks his hands. In here, catch it. Elbow joint, elbow joint. Lock my hands. I stay down, pop, throw. Okay, here you're fighting here. Wrist control, you're fighting him here. He reaches across, in. Elbow, up, lock. Don't lock it here. You will lose the position. Okay, you have nothing on you. Elbow joint, elbow joint. Now you do it. Hop. Don't do it this way. Hop. And coming up. My head stays the same height. I go through. Hop, hook, and throw. Okay, last one. From the standing with the whizzer, is he gets tired of me being here between his legs. If he can get his leg in front of mine, here, he can hit toss me or whatever, and over I go. I'm going to make him step that leg. Okay? I get to here. As he steps in front of that leg, I'm going the other way. So it's a lateral drop action. Okay? Here, he steps. That's a lateral drop action. Okay, so we have those for the standing whizzer. We have what is called a dresser dunk, named after Kevin Dresser, wrestled in Iowa many years ago, NCAA champ for Iowa. He was really good at this, thus dresser dunk. We'll do it from down. I take a shot. I'm on my hands and knees. He sprawls away. Okay, I take a shot. Boom. Here, he sprawls. Now from there, he has his hands on the overside of my arms. He turns at an angle, comes out here at the angle. And when he does, as I start to go, I don't like this position. As I start coming up, his arm comes out from over top of my arm, comes in front of my head, to there, grabs my knee, drives over, and catches me on my back. Okay. So I'm using it. Okay. He starts with his hands over top. Okay. Holds me here, comes out to the side. The guy starts to get up. Hand goes from here, underneath, over, under, to the knee, hold, and run past it. Do the same thing for standing. Here he pulls the head down. His knee here. See, he's already ready to go. Come on back. Okay. Pulls me down and changes. Okay, here. Pulls me down. He's ready to go. As soon as I start going, I'm in trouble, I start coming up. He grabs the knee here. Pulls the arm. Okay? Dresser dunk. I shoot in on a single leg on him. And he's going to sprawl. He's going to reach across. He's going to double my arms up. He's going to turn and face the same way we're facing. He's going to step over me like getting on a horse. Okay, which leg am I? In a single leg, here. He's going to elongate his legs, which stretches my arms out. He's going to take his whizzer arm, come the whole way across, and grab my elbow. From here, he turns and faces the same way I'm facing for a second. From there, now he's going to take the leg that I have control, the right leg, and he's going to step over me like a horse. He keeps, get pressure off somebody's pot. There you go. He keeps the arms, and he's straddling me here, and when he wants me to stop talking, and he wants to pin me, he throws his hips down into me and starts raising his head up. Okay, you can get off now. Okay, so you trap the arm, I turn, face the same way, step over, hips down, head up. Don't have your butt up, head down. Hips down, head up. Okay, step over around cowboy. Okay, another one. I used to wear that out. Love this one. This is one of those funky things. Over here. Okay, here's my single here. I can't wait for them to get in this position. I love it. First thing I'm going to do, hook the back of his arm here. I keep my elbow on the mat. I reach over and I wrap all 4 fingers and a thumb around monkey hook, around his elbow here. I got a shallow whizzer over here on the right side. I have his elbow hooked here. And now what I want him to do, whether he does it on his own or I help him a little bit, I want him to start circling around to get an angle on me. And I want him to hook in, like he just did on me. Whether he does it on his own, if not, I'll help him. But okay, let's say he's not going to step around. I hook here at his elbow. I get my weight on my elbow. I give my foot. So I'm doing my foot. I just stick my foot there until he overhooks it. Great. Now, I'll keep this, but I'm going to show you. This hand, I'm now going to pull the arm forward and up. See how it's above his head? So, I'm pulling the arm forward, up, as I stick my chest down into him, which puts the head down below. I'm going to put my head down on the mat. Now, this hand will still be over here, but I'm doing it in slow motion for you. And then I'm going to elevate my right leg. Elevate, 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 elevate. And he runs back, flat for the match. Okay. Now, keeping my hands in place, I throw into the instruction. Shoot in my single, boom, here. I hook, keep my leg back, let him have it. He steps in, pull, head down, keep the whizzer, keep the whizzer, keep the whizzer. Now look at his head in relation to his arm. Okay? I want to keep his head there. I can't afford to allow his arm to go there. That takes all the pressure off, and the battle starts again. As long as his arm is behind his head here, and I'm holding his head in place with my chest, and pulling the arm behind his head, he's going, It's really hard for him to get out of here in this position, and this will fall before he does get out of there. Okay, so there you have that. Now, we have elevators I used to make real famous and have a lot of fun with. Okay, elevators from a high crotch. All an elevator is a ball rolling. I could either be a log or I could be a ball. Balls roll better than logs do. So remember that when you're trying your elevators. You get into a ball position, you don't get into a log position. Get into a ball position. Number 1 rule of elevator. Number 2, whatever side his head's on, you take him to. His head's on my right side, you take him to the right side. This is huge, big, gigantic. This is a mistake every kid makes. They have a tendency to fall to the left hip instead of the right hip when the head's on the right side. Because I'm usually facing him, I have my right hip to him, so the closest part to the mat is my left, so they try to drop down here instead of turning their hips on the way down. You got to turn and land on your right hip when his head's on the right side. He's in on a high crotch. Here, I want to first extend. As soon as he hits in, I want to hold his head, like a head in the hole, front headlock, cock the chin here. I come underneath the arm here. From there, I bring my knee up. Bring my knee up. My foot slides up his thigh here and ends in the groin here. Not kicking anything, just sliding up, boom. When that knee sticks through, I'm ready to go. Here, under the arm, here. When that knee comes up, I'm ready. The hard part is getting to my right hip, because I want to fall down to my left. On the way down, I'm turning that way. Down and turn. Over they go. So they come over, pick up, you got your nothing else. You can do the same thing for standing single. He's got the head in here, you're fighting. What you need to do is put his head to the outside now. Just for a second, take both hands and go. Here. I throw it to the outside, so now I'm forcing the head on the outside, double leg or single, instead of head on the inside. Arm in here, knee up, knee up, knee up. And all I'm going to do is sit. I'm not going to stay right there. If my butt lands right here on that wet X, great. If I land here, that's so good. If I land here, I'm in trouble. The object is go straight underneath you. Don't kick away and get into a log. Here, drop straight down. Straight down. You go, see ya. See ya. Over he goes. Elevator standing, elevator down. He's really good at it when you get on a double. Okay. Boom. Hit. I start coming up. And there he goes. Elevators. Okay. If you get caught in that elevator, you got halfway down, he goes, no. He puts his hand out as a brace. You're down here, and you almost let him over. You can't quite kick him over because he's going, no. He's got a hand out as a brace. That's the only way they can stop the elevator is to put a brace arm out there. Now I'm laying flat on my back. Forget I'm doing that from talking to you. Okay. So you go here. It doesn't work. I take the hand off the chin. I bring it up here. Here's the mistake kids will make. They'll put it at the armpit. Here. No. Out here. At the tricep. And you're here. Not here. Here. First thing we're going to do is I'm taking this hand. I'm throwing it up over my head. His arm is now here over my bicep. When I throw my arm up, the hand slides up to my shoulder. Here's where I want it. I'm trying to get him over. I throw my arm up. It comes up here. Step one. I can't get him over. Step one. Arm up. Step two. Tricep. Tricep. Not the armpit. Tricep. Lock your hands. You now have him really tight. The obvious way to take him is that way. We're not going to. We're going to pull him across this. But the whole time, especially when you get guys strong in the shoulders, that's why I'm doing it to him, he's not doing it to me. Okay. One more time, different angle. Here. I get him. It doesn't work. Step one. Hand up. Catch your arm at the shoulder here. And up. Over. Tricep. No. Yes. Pull. That tightens everything up. And pull. Okay, there you have the elevators. Down on your knees. Taking them on over there. There's other elevators that are more sophisticated. You have to make a living out of elevators. I did. I'm not going to go into them, but they're the basic ones I think will work even on your average kid. Okay, next thing we're going to cover is spladles. Everyone loves spladles. All right, from here on spladles, that's what I made up back in the early 70s. Half split scissors, half cradle, spladle. Split scissors, cradle, spladle. Okay, that's what they stand for. All right, guys in on a single leg, how do we lock this up? Just turn underneath me, run. So you can see it. Okay, he's in on a single leg. I'm fighting him here. He's got my leg. It's right, or left. He's got my right leg. I take my right hand, I reach over and do a switch on his right leg. He's got my right leg. I take my right hand, I do a switch on his right leg. Right. Okay? So, I reach over, he's spladling here. Single leg. I reach over. Now, here's the key. Palm down. Not palm up. They want to do this. No, that. Reach over, lock your hands. Palm down. Don't miss that. Reach in for a switch. Palm down, lock your hands. Now, let him have this thing. Give him the leg. You can give him the leg. He's pulling on it. Let him have it. The more he takes it, the better it is. I'm pulling the hands to me here. Okay. Working my way around. He's got my right leg. I now hook his leg. Right leg, right arm, switch his right leg. Take my right leg. I'm going to reach in and hook. Reach in and hook. Once I hook his leg, I go on back, match ends. Here. Plant both my feet on the mat. Raise my hips up. And stay here forever. Remember, you're on your own back when you're laying here. Don't get too comfortable. You have to slap the mat. You get up, think you won the match, and you pin yourself. Keep one shoulder up because you're holding him down. Okay. If you get down here, and he was pinned last week in this, and he's keeping that leg back, I can't get to that leg. You get down to the heel. Notice how I get down to the heel. Keep my hand locked, keep my hand locked, hands locked, got his heel. Don't let go. You go to here. If he kicks this leg as I let go, I'll lose everything because I can't match my arm with his leg. If one arm can hold his leg, forget all the technique. Just throw him down and pin him. You got that kind of power. Okay, keep your hands locked and down to his heel. Now, when you do this heel, you pull the heel this way. As you do, say, come here. It's magic. As you pull this heel, that foot's going to come. Boom. Match ends. Okay. You can't get that leg. It's too far back. Heel. Pull. Pull the heel. That foot will come back around. Keep that flexibility not to let it come around. Lock it up, take him on over. You're in the same position, as an example. You get here, whatever reason, you can't quite get the leg, you're fighting. The refs only let you have this position for 5-10 seconds max before they go stalemate, back up. So once you're here for 5 seconds, you can't get it. You let the head slip out. We're keeping the head in here. Now what I'm going to do is let the head slip to the outside by just taking my hips away. The head pops out. This hand, top hand, goes elbow deep. Okay, I'm here fighting, I can't get it. So I let the head pop, elbow deep. Hand changes, and you're cradle. So since the spladle is half cradle, you just turn it to the cradle. And you go to the cradle and finish in the cradle. Okay, real quick, without cranking, you can do it to me. Okay? Boom, I got single here. He's fighting, he goes over, locks it, pulls it to me. I get my here, I'm fighting, he pulls it up, gets the leg, and over he goes. Okay? If he gets to here, and I'm fighting, he can't get it. Maybe I'll hold the switch to him. Hold it so he can't hook it no matter what he does. You know, eventually he's going to get a stalemate. So he lets the head free, head pops out, he changes his hand grip, and turns it like a cradle, and takes me back over. So, your spladle down can turn into a cradle, because the spladle is half cradle in. You do the same thing standing. He hits it here, you fight single leg, push his head down, get it down, push his head down. As you push his head down, you just follow the head. Follow the head down, hook, here, match ends. Through here. You're fighting here, push his head down, lock in here, hook, match ends. You go. Spladle, plant your feet, hips up. You can do it from standing. You can also do it from down on the mat. You're riding the guy. Or you're got in a flurry of a takedown where you're here and he's over top of the leg. You get in this position a lot in matches. Even here, he's trying to get up. Here. See, here I'm trying to hold him down. In order for him to get up, he's got to back his hands up to there. Am I down? Okay. I'm fighting him here. He's trying to get up. As he gets to here, now I slide down to the back of his head. I go from here to here. I slide down. And he's back into a split. So, we can do it countering the single on the knees. We can do it countering single on feet. We can do it in the down position when, he steps over, hooks the leg and starts coming up. If he doesn't hook the leg, and he starts quad quadding up here, you can come back in and put your leg in now and let him start standing up. No, you can't catch him. Okay, so you can hook your leg in from the quad pod, or it could be in there out of a forward of a takedown. So you have the splittles that fit in there. Now, another thing is a knee tap. Love this one too. Is anytime a guy shoots, I get in this position here. Instead of doing the head and hold, I'm going to, like a locomotive, chugga, 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 woo, woo. One hand goes forward, one goes hand, one goes forward, one goes back. So as I'm going forward with my right hand, left hand's coming back. Okay? So from here, I have tricep control over here, and I'll do it the other side for you in a second. I'm going to reach through, and I put my hand this way on his knee. I'm not doing anything with the knee. I'm not pushing his knee out. I'm not pushing this way. I'm not slapping it. I'm just putting my hand on his knee. The whole thing of knee tap is taking this arm, pulling it forward, pulling it forward. Here, under, pulling out. There it goes. You got, that's the key. That's the key. But if you watch it again in slow motion, if you watch it at regular speed, it looks like my hand cut his leg right out from underneath him. It did not. I held my hand still. I pulled him over that hand by my left arm pulling. Okay, over there, facing me. Okay, the shots fall from here. From here, when I'm ready to go, I dip my shoulder from being shoulder high to shoulder low so I can get that reach. I can't get to here if I keep my shoulder up here. Ready to go, drop my shoulder. I do not drive into him. I'm not driving into him. I'm pulling him, elongating. Post and pull. And arm comes here, across. Okay, knee tap. Boom, okay? Next one, very popular, started in Pennsylvania, called cement mixer. Really a good rule pin combination. Front hold, shot. Okay, what he's going to do is he's going to lock it up a certain way, he's going to spin. But the part I want you to spend a whole lot of time on here is, let's say we're going to do it on this tape line right here. Okay? I'm going to shoot on him on the tape line where it's straddling me, it's going to be straddling him. He's going to roll me to my right. Okay, his left. If he's going to take me that way, which he is, and you would too, both of his legs have to be on that side of this tape line. If he has anything that he owns, a shoelace that's on that side of this tape line, he ain't going to get it. Pay attention to that, coach. Anything on that side of this line, he's not going to get this thing. He's going to ball me up, he's going to circle, and then he's going to roll. And how he rolls, he's going to roll in underneath me. When he finally hits the mat, it's going to be directly underneath my body. So pretend I took a shot here, boom, I shot here. He takes his under the arm. You see this all the time, this cow catcher, flip the guy over. It's that same position, okay? But now what I'm going to do, I either have my hand down, he reaches down and grabs it. So now he has the cow catcher, and he has my wrist control here, okay? Or from here he starts choking me with his hand a bit, and I come up to pull it off, and he grabs my hand. I don't care how he gets it. He's got my hand. He's under the arm here. Now, straddle the leg, tape line. See how we're straddling the tape line? Do not go from here. He's going to take me, he's going to push into me, he's going to ball me up. And now he's stepped over to this side of that line. Now his head's going to go right underneath me. Right there. Now he starts to pull. Now here it comes. Okay, watch it. Shots fall here. Get under the arm. Reach down and get his wrist. Or choke him out a little bit here. He comes up to fight. Grab his wrist. Okay, I push into him. I get my legs to the side. I get on this side of that tape line. I don't spend not enough time teaching you that. Step over that side. And I'm going to high leg under. I'm going to hit a bridge. I have to go slow here for this one. And I'm going to be right underneath him here. Here, punch underneath. And then pull. Keep the wrist. Keep the wrist. Keep the hat. Everything stays the same. And when you come up, you got one tight half Nelson. Cement mixer. This is one of those knockout punches when you're down by points. You're down getting beat by 8 points. What the heck? Lose by 10. Give it a shot. If you get it, match ends. Kid got that about 5 years ago in the NCAA finals. He was down 11-1, 11-2. Third period. Boom. All the match end. He won by pin. He was down by 8, 10 points and got a cement mixer. Works really well. Okay. Then I want to show you a counter to a limp arm. You get stuck in the wizard here, and he steps over the leg. You're fighting here. Hey, yo, almost everyone from here, limp arms out. They bump into you, limp arm out, come on top. So I'm going to anticipate the limp arm. I know what he's going to do. Everyone does it. They bump in, palm up, limp arm out. So what they have to do, they have to bump in, palm up, limp out. See what I'm doing with my body? I'm taking my body away from him and then coming back in. So if he does it in real slow motion, he bumps in, turns palm. As he's bringing his arm up there, I attack. Okay, so I counter the wizard. Okay. Okay, from here, he has a wizard on me. I know what he's going to do, so I bump into him. I turn my palm up. I turn away. I start moving my arm up. I get to here. And over he goes. It's a timing move, but everyone you wrestle will do a limp arm out of a wizard. And when he bumps you, he goes like this, you attack. And you'll knock him right on his back. These are sucker moves in a way. You're setting things up. You know where he's going to go, and you head him off the pass. You have the military strategy of what your opponent's going to do ahead of time. So now you know how to do a counter strategy, and that's what this stuff is. Okay, other things to do, kind of fun things to play with. Sucker drag, counter a sucker drag, or a frisbee, where a guy has a front headlock on you, and you're sucker dragging out from that position. Okay, I have a front headlock on him. I feel him reaching up, looking for a sucker drag. I know exactly what he's going to do when he reaches up and over the far elbow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang on to his arm just like he's hanging on to mine. I'm going to post his shoulder, his right shoulder down on the mat, and as he goes around, I'm going to step over. I know he's sucker dragging, the hand comes up around my waist as he's coming out. Turns his head, pops his head out. I know what he's going to do in a sucker drag. I know he's going to do a sucker drag because he's reaching across to my elbow. That's the only thing he can do from there. So from here, from now, he reaches across. And as he steps up, he goes slow. Here, as he starts to go, I control the arm. I put his arm down on the mat. You see his arms around my back here. And I step. And I catch him on his back. Okay, he'll step on me. I'll go to him. Here, boom. Here, I reach up here. I start coming here. He hits my shoulder. Yeah. And my arms around his back. And there he steps over. And I catch him on my back. Sucker drag. Step over. Okay. Sagging headlock. Guy gets a shot. I get a collar tie up instead of your front headlock, head and hold type stuff. A regular collar tie. I stay on my knees, I lower my head, lower my head, until sooner or later he goes, no, my head's too low, and he picks his head up a little bit. All I do is get my shoulder hooked on his forehead, push it down so his head comes up there, I'm charging. This arm's going to go straight, this arm, just like on the knee tap, pull the arm. The key is my left arm. It's not the headlock arm, it's this arm. This is what kills him. From here, head as soon as it comes up, pull, and straighten. This one takes him down. I don't grab hold of his head. I've committed my arms. I can get re-rolled. Don't want that to happen. I keep my hand out here. This is what takes him over. Okay. Option on JJ. Good thing. Okay. Shot, boom, in here. He gets to here. I get tired of this and start sliding my head up. Once I get my head to here, that's all the time needs to be, is he can get his shoulder on my forehead. He pulls the arm, straight back, roll. And he puts that arm out there so I can't block. And roll him on through. Sagging head lock. From down on the knees. Deadly. Okay. Crossbody ride. How do you get that crossbody ride when it's draping over? This is a funky one. I made it up. I like it a lot. Biased. And everything I do is designed, how do I put him on his back? I'm not trying to get out of legs. I'm trying to pin him in his own legs. And this is how I do it. Okay? Okay? He puts the leg in here, he's riding, he's draping over. The legs go. Once he gets over, if he's in good position, he has this elbow barrel buried in here. Okay, that's all I need. Once he gets to here, he's in good position. His hips are high, legs in. He's got his elbow marked in. He's supposed to have it. That's a really good position for him. I'm going to take the opposite arm. Left arm going to come over underneath, and I'm going to hold on to his bicep here. I'm going to lean up here. This is part of the move. But from here, I'm reaching under and grabbing there. Reaching under, grabbing there. Okay, so I reach under, grab this way. I don't come over. I go under the arm. Okay, from here, as soon as I get that arm, I raise up as high as I can. I don't know how high I can get, but for a second. And now I'm going to reach over and get his head. I'm doing just the opposite, which you've always told not to do with legs. Don't reach back and get his head. He's going to wring you out. Okay, so we're going to do everything wrong in pinning. Okay, but how you stop from getting pinned is because you've got control of his arm. Don't let go of that arm. Okay, here. Reach over and get his arm. Raise up, get his head, and fall right back down. And roll. If you have this, you have him. Okay, from here, put your chin over. Hang on to it. You don't want him to get on the other side of your head. Okay, just as long as you have control of the arm, it's really easy. Now from here, I'm going to take his ear and put it on his shoulder. I have his head, pick his head up this way. See his face change? And I'm slowly working my legs up. But I have control of that arm. When I came under, I worked it this way. Guaranteed, it works every time. Okay. Now, another thing, learned this from Jay Robinson. He was teaching coaching Minnesota. He was coaching a couple upper weights. I think they were 97-pounders or heavyweights. Don't remember anymore. It's real simple. It's real basic. Good elementary wrestling. It's certainly good for high school. Heavyweights, excellent for big guys. Okay, chop, take waist. Okay. Chops one arm, boom, takes it down here, gets the wrist. Once he's on the wrist, he jumps across to the other side, and he puts both hands on that wrist. Okay, I'm down my belt, but he's got both hands on that. Okay, and now from here, he just pulls my hands back to me as he can, and around the head he goes. Okay, then he has bars crossed. We saw that a little bit in the cross-face cradle series. Okay, same idea. Once again, for a freeze position. Okay, chopping down, get his wrist. From there, jump to the side the wrist is trapped on, and get a hold of it with both hands. Just get a hold of it with both hands. When you're ready to go, do the best you can to pull it up, and circle, 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 circle. Okay, keeping your weight on him. Weight off your knees. Okay, last thing I'm going to show you, something that Ben Askren, one of the greatest pinners we have in America, did. And he did this really well. He calls it his assassin. And he buried quite a few people. And anyhow, in the down position. I'm down, I'm facing down, he chopped me down, whatever. He gets a leg hooked in, he comes over, and he reaches under and locks his hands here. It's kind of like a three-quarter Nelson in a way. But he reaches over top the head, underneath the knee arm, and locks his hands. Then he starts pulling me in with his elbow. Turns me to here, and then he stops across me here. And then he flattens out. And he has me caught here with my head and my arm, and it gets real tight. And you start losing consciousness. So much pressure comes down across that neck. Let's go from a different angle here. Okay. From here, Ryan, he's got the strap and the leg hooks in here. You have Sandra, I'm still bracing the fight. to here, once I get to here, he starts stepping over. A lot of times I start moving, trying to get out of this, and trying to come up, but he keeps it locked. And this forearm right here comes across. I'm like, come on, that artery. And things start to get gray, dark, black. Okay, when you're here, you think you have something on the way out, but you don't. Okay, there you have it.